Welcome to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. If you're passionate about Central Florida theme parks like we are, then you've come to the right place. Now on to the show. Here's your host, Bill Balcerski.
Universal Disney Nuts. I am Bill, your host. Welcome back to the show, everybody. UDN live from the Tiki Bar, and it's not raining.
I know.
It is beautiful out. This
It
is
is.
so cool.
See a cloud anywhere.
We need to start drying out.
We lost trees in the front yard because of all the rain we've been getting.
Yep.
We had to cut down 2 trees because they
It
were
was
rotting
moist
away.
out.
We lost our palm tree.
Moist indeed, my friend. So it's a beautiful day. The sun's out. The dogs next door are barking, and Kona is on the bar.
My assistant.
Yes, Dave's assistant.
Dave's assistant, yes.
Here. So, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Dave, Mr. Dave Indy is with us.
Hello.
And of course, Miss Tanya.
Hello, everyone.
So the gang is all here. Parks are super busy.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I've heard reports. We haven't been in a little bit. Well, we went to Epcot the other
I
night.
was to say, we
It wasn't
went
bad.
Friday night. And yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
I heard the evenings are a lot better to go into, but during the day they're just wall to wall what their capacity is allowed.
Yeah, the night was beautiful. The weather was beautiful. We went and had dinner at France,
Yeah, Chef de France.
and the food was amazing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good. The French onion soup was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The steaks were spot on.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it was really, really good. So I think we had to roll ourselves out of there.
Yeah, we did their package, the dining did.
It's like a 3-course meal for $49, and you get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert
And a glass of wine.
and soda.
And one non-alcoholic beverage, so it could be a soda or like coffee, tea.
So it's a great deal, and the food is amazing. So if you guys ever find yourselves down in Epcot, definitely go to France for dinner. It's well worth it.
Yeah, it was a year ago. I took Michelle for her birthday and surprised her and ate there. We didn't do the package, but yeah, the food was phenomenal.
Yeah, the second night. This was the second night that it was open. It reopened on last Thursday, the 8th, and we went on the 9th.
Still want to do Canada. I need to eat over there.
I haven't eaten there yet either.
Either, but
Stop!
you know
Oh my
what's
gosh.
interesting is I've heard mixed stories about Canada. I'd never had a chance to actually eat at Canada, but from what I understand, the quality has gone down a little bit at Canada. But I
That's
remember
what I've been
Canada
hearing,
being
yeah,
like the steaks are like
like-
supposedly.
yeah.
like top notch, you know, like if you're going to Canada for dinner, that's like the best Epcot's got, you know, and they've had that reputation for quite a long time. But from what I understand lately, it's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, they're saying the steak quality isn't as good as it used to be.
So the Florida parks are super busy right now. They've reached capacity by like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And now keep in mind that they're operating at a limited capacity due to COVID. We're still in that world.
Of course, later on in the evening at Disney Springs.
Yes, Disney Springs had to adjust the amount of people that they're letting in because there's so many people trying to get in there. Kind of crazy. So our parks are busy. Other parks, not so much. And I don't know, but the rumors about Texas are back.
Ah,
Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
interesting.
I don't know if you've heard crazy circles in social media about Disney and Texas and what the connection is. I can help you with that. I could put some things to bed about that.
Yeah, they bought like over 400 acres.
About 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah, a
they
few
bought
years
a
ago.
huge part of land in northwest Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a rumor that they're going to move Disneyland to Texas. Stop. Just stop.
I didn't hear that rumor. I
Just
heard
stop. Stop with it. Stop.
Throw the castle on the trailer.
a new right.
Yeah, no, not going to happen.
I
So,
heard a new park, but not that they
Yes.
were moving
I say Dude
Disneyland.
so basically, Disney had bought all this land in northwest Texas, and it caused a huge buzz because they're thinking there's another park coming, which typically when Disney buys a large lot of land, there's something in the works. Now, we don't
Typically, yes.
we don't know what that something is, but there's a strong chance it'll eventually be something significant like a park or,
Case in point, Walt
you
Disney
know.
World.
right?
Nah, I say Dude Ranch or like a kind of or DVC
I don't know.
kind of
I think they
location
still-
with enough
Perhaps.
property to keep people out, so you get to enjoy it without kind of like Disneyland, a hotel and crap right outside your door.
Hey, truth be told, your guess is as good as anybody else's. I mean, we're only speculating just like everybody else. But the idea that they're going to move Disneyland,
No.
No,
just stop.
That's-
Just stop.
They will never move Disneyland out of Anaheim. That's
No.
crazy.
Absolutely not. The land alone is not worth it. But there's certain attachment to that area, so it's kind of where Disney started.
if they're gonna build a park, make it the villain one.
Well, yeah, and I was just
That
going
would
to
be
say
cool, bro.
that.
That
There's
would
a
be cool.
Different.
lot-
Make it the villain.
Yeah, because there's tons and tons of people, and it just seems like the villains pick up speed more and more often, and that people, you know, especially like last year's Halloween party, they were incorporating more of the villain stuff. And even like during the course of the year, they were doing that after
The villain party.
at Magic Kingdom. So
Yeah. I mean, they tried to build the one in Virginia based on historic years ago that the people didn't want, but it wasn't
that
going to be
didn't
a
work out too well.
Disneyland. It was going to be true to historic, which
I think that would have been cool. I would have enjoyed that.
it would have
part.
been neat. I can understand taken away from the beauty of the area, just with the crowds.
Yeah.
Was the concern of everybody up there.
But that's why Texas is such a great spot.
Dead
Maybe
center
with
almost.
that-
So wide open that, you know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they've got plenty of room to do whatever they want.
Yep.
So, and 400 acres, you know, I mean, that's enough.
equivalent to what they own at Walt Disney World is set on, isn't it?
No,
No.
I don't remember the total acreage, but the acreage was stupid down here, like
I
36
forget acreage to miles
36,000 acres or something they bought.
Oh, was it that
It's
much?
insane.
because
yeah.
it's 44 square miles down here, so I don't know what that
Yeah,
converts in
okay.
acreages right off.
So we got a lot to cover on this podcast. We also have some special guests join us for random topic. Interesting random topic, not typically something we do, but an important topic nonetheless. So
Agreed.
We'll get there. The biggest news this week, unfortunately, is not positive news. Disney laid off 28,000 employees. Most of them, 67% of them are part-time workers, mostly out in California. And needless to say, people are heartbroken. And I think this is something that has been going on for a while, and I don't think Disney had a choice. But there's a little bit more to this whole layoff of all these people than what meets the eye.
Yes.
And this is kind of, I call it the clash of California. and the reason why is Disney is knocking heads with the governor of California. Gavin Newsom is the governor out there. Now, we don't get political at UDN,
Nope. We keep it
and
even
we're
keel.
not going down that road. But I just wanted to point out, I'm going to present some interesting information. I'm going to let you make the decision on how you feel about it, okay? But it's very interesting. Get your popcorn ready.
Okay.
I got my bottle of water.
Okay, bottled water, popcorn ready, whatever. So, obviously, you heard that Disney laid off the 28,000 employees. Most of them are from Disneyland. Okay, 67% are part-timers. They're from the parks, experience, and cruise lines. Now, the cruise lines and experiences, we knew that was coming. That wasn't a lot. Out of the 28,000 employees, I think like 6,000 are from Florida, and the rest are mainly California.
I think most of ours were part-timers too.
Quite
Yeah.
a few, but there were some full timers because
Yeah.
I know of some people personally that were affected by that, and one of them was with Disney for 37 years.
Yeah, it broke my heart when
Yeah,
I heard
and-
that.
Yeah.
Disney stated that they're heartbroken, but it was their only feasible option after sustaining a $4.7 billion loss in the third quarter. Our hearts and prayers go out to the families during this difficult time. Now, I call it the Clash of California because of the growing tensions between Disney and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Disney has reached a boiling point. And you see that meme on Facebook where the guy's laying back down in the chair with the popcorn and he's just watching TV? That's kind of what this is all about. So in the beginning of the week, the governor stated that Disney's request to reopen was unreasonable and said that there's no big rush to reopen and that he's going to be stubborn about protecting the people of California. Now, Disney had fired back and said that we are following protocols. One of the safest places to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let us open. You know, people's jobs are in danger. Newsom is firing back saying, well, people's lives are in danger. So which one's more important, the jobs or the lives? No matter where you stand on that fence, is regardless, I should say, it's going back and forth. And Disney's firing it at the governor's firing back at Disney, and it's a stalemate. Nobody's budget. Well, then Disney announces this 28,000 job layoff, where the majority of them are Disneyland, and then nothing. No response.
And that's just going to hurt California in the long run because they're the ones paying out the benefits and everything. So
I can't help but to think that this is like a tit for tat. You know, okay, so you're not going to open up, so watch what we can do. You know, and then they lay off people. I know Disney doesn't want to lay off people, and I know Disney doesn't want that negative exposure. And I'm sure
trying to do the right thing by, you know, all of their employees.
Right, and I'm sure the state of California doesn't want the unemployment. I mean, they're already in a bad spot in California to begin with. Mm-hmm. I don't think we need to add to the issues. So Disney's like, we have Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Walt Disney World in Florida are all open with safe protocols in place. And Disneyland is the only Disney asset that is not open. And as far as theme parks, hotels are different.
Right.
Okay.
I think same for Universal.
So after the negative publicity of losing all the jobs and Disney highly criticizing the governor has now finally sent a team to Disneyland for inspection to work towards eventually opening Disneyland. We'll see what happens. Is it too little, too late? Perhaps. Those people have already lost their jobs. Yes, Disney can rehire them, but at what point? I mean, I know Downtown Disney was open.
Yes.
And typically this show is about Florida theme parks, but I have to bring out this California stuff because it impacts
still part
us.
Of the Disney family, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And part of those layoffs were us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We have sustained so many layoffs from the biggest employer in Central Florida.
Yep.
I mean, if Disney goes down, Central Florida goes down. And think about how many businesses are already out of business because Disney's not running at full capacity. We should be extremely thankful for what we have.
I agree.
To the fact that we can still go to the parks and still enjoy them under rules and regulations. But to watch all these people lose their jobs is just heartbreaking. I could see both sides of the fence with this whole California thing. Like the governor's trying to be safe about it. I get it. Are there other...
But when is enough enough? When you have city government or city employees or city governments going to the governor saying, look, enough is enough. We need to reopen. I mean, it's not just that, you know.
It almost makes it seem like they're keeping it closed for a reason. And I don't know what that reason is, but
it seems like single-handedly he is, because you've got cities that want to reopen and get people back to work and start getting back to some sort of normalcy. And
well, you know, Florida is definitely one of those leaders in that world. You know, I mean, we just went to phase 3. We're starting to reopen everything.
Yep.
You know, if our numbers skyrocket, then we know that maybe Governor Newsom was right and that we should be shutting everything down. Or if we completely and fully open and we don't have any more major spikes, then that should tell the rest of the country something. You know, I mean, we're already at capacity in these parks. Now, mind you, we're running at what, 25% capacity?
25.
I saw what you posted the other day.
Yeah.
So we're only at 25% capacity, but imagine if Disney and Universal went 100% capacity, like just fully opened, slammed.
Yeah, but even on a good day, they were never really at 100% per se. I think really the only time you saw 100% was like
holidays,
Thanksgiving, Christmas,
right? Christmas,
you know, New Year's Eve,
stuff
you know,
like
that kind of thing. Otherwise, I'd say roughly it's probably they usually run about maybe 60 to 70%. Is that like a safe bet?
Yeah, I'd go maybe 80 tops, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because you figure Magic Kingdom capacity is 65,000 people. So
And that's just one park, though.
and that's just one park. Epcot Epcot was what, 110,000, and I think Hollywood Studios was about 65,000. I think Animal Kingdom was also about 110,000. If you're hitting 100% capacity and having 65,000 people in the Magic Kingdom, that's a rough day.
That's a busy day, and I don't even think they have the staff for it because they laid so many people off.
Well, yeah, that's another thing.
You know, like they're running at 25% capacity. Maybe that's all they can run at with the current people that they have.
True.
You know what I mean? Like they have to manage this. They have to, okay, how many employees do we have? How high can we go? Can we go from 25% to 35%? Okay, what do we need to do that? Well, you need more employees, you need more food, you need more this, you need more security, you know, especially in light of what happened this afternoon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even though it happened on Labor Day, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Everything would have to be ramped up. So that means Disney would have to start rehiring again.
Correct.
And they're not at that point yet.
Yeah, and
So-
I was going to save it for kind of the Universal, but kind of like even for us, they laid off people just recently at Universal, but it was not hourly, it was managers, where it was like 3 managers per attraction versus now they went down to 2 managers, so it was all kind of upper that. And Universal even said furloughs are not permanent, but they expect it to last at least until sometime in 2021 for them.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
what does that say for Disney if that's Universal saying it and they're at a much smaller scale?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and there
That's a
was
great
some
point.
managers at Disney that were getting laid off.
And to have our friend lose her job after 37 years at Disney, it breaks my heart.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
You know,
Now, she did say that at least the full-time employees were being taken care of.
Oh, a severance package.
Yes.
So that means they're getting terminated. They're not coming back. If they're offering severance packages,
Probably
you're
early
finished.
retirement.
Yeah, you're finished. On to happier news.
Yeah. Some prayers go out to all the cast members that this was affected by, and
Unbelievable.
we pray that you can get back to the parks soon.
You know, here's the thing that doesn't sit well with me. It feels like the employees were a pawn in a you-know-what measuring contest between Disney and the governor. And the people lost out.
Yes.
You know, okay, the governor's unemployment rate skyrockets, and Disney gets tagged with bad rep for laying off people. But at the end of the day, the true victims are the people who lose their jobs.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
California's a mess right now.
And it's not even just the theme parks. You got the movie studios, everything else that's tied into that.
Yeah.
Stores.
I mean, a lot of them are all
food.
going out of the country. Like Hallmark
Unbelievable.
Channel is filming up in Canada. I mean, it's
So let's move on. We've got some exciting news from Universal. Universal Music Group is getting into the hospitality business.
this is interesting. I hadn't heard of this.
Very
Same.
cool. So a new development announced a little while ago about the old Broadwater Resort. Now, if you don't know what the Broadwater Resort is, it used to be an old casino in Biloxi, and they are taking it over. They are rebuilding it and making it into a music-themed mega entertainment mecca, if you will. They're going to have concerts there. They're going to have casinos, a major hotel.
I wonder how that's going to affect the Hard Rock Casino in Biloxi.
I don't know. So they just announced that they're building the first of 3 hotels. It's going to be a $1.2 billion destination.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going all out. Biloxi, Atlanta, and Orlando were selected for the first 3 cities for Universal to build these hotels.
Atlanta, really?
The Biloxi
I could see
Resort
it.
will have a hotel, marina, golf course, and later a full-blown casino, which would be in line to what Biloxi offers,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
true.
And with everything going on in Vegas right now, don't be surprised if Biloxi starts blowing up, because the violence in Vegas is crazy right now. Nobody's going to Vegas because of all the violence. So if,
I don't know, that one video we were watching the other day that was pretty busy,
yeah, I mean, well, it is busy, but
relatively speaking.
that was a Saturday night,
Yeah.
and there was an event in Vegas that night. So,
Okay.
but during the week, it's a ghost town. And the problem with Vegas is that the casinos are having a hard time managing COVID. They're having a hard time managing security because the room rates have dropped to the point where every riffraff from every, I mean, I hate to say it like this. I'm not trying to be negative, but
People who couldn't afford Vegas before can now afford Vegas.
right. A lot of people are blaming, this is not me saying this. This is just what's in the papers.
Yeah, no, I understand.
A lot of people are saying that the Raiders are attracting a lot of questionable people that come into town.
Really?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know if you've been to Oakland, but, you know,
Well, yeah.
Vegas is saying the lower room rates and the Raiders and a couple other things contributed. The protests are definitely part of it. The lack of police, because they don't want to get involved because they're targeted right now, have contributed to the overall spike in crime in Vegas. People are getting shot on the strip like every other day.
Wow. That's
And
sad.
they've set a record of violent crime like 10 days in a row now.
Ugh.
So even though the police have ramped up and trying to get a hold of it, the people who didn't want to go to Vegas before are definitely not going to Vegas now.
Well, yeah.
So this whole Biloxi thing might work out for Biloxi, because we've been to Biloxi
Yeah.
and
We enjoyed it.
yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was
Been
nice.
It was
years.
quieter, but yeah.
It was
I mean,
very
we were
quiet.
there-
It was very quiet.
We were there a few years after one of the hurricanes, and they were still recovering from.
And moving on, for Universal Orlando has extended the pass holder appreciation to October 31st.
Woohoo! When are we going? Come on, let's go.
Well, that we only got what, a couple days left, right? Half
Today's
the
the
month.
13th, yeah.
So
yeah, so we've got 17 more days.
all new annual
18.
pass exclusive VIP tour includes front of the line access to several rides, a commemorative lanyard, and much, much more. Tour of the Hulk, Revenge of the Mummy, Transformers, Green Eggs and Ham Cafes having a little something something.
What's that for?
The VIP, pass holder VIP.
It's like the Thrill something is the name of it.
Yeah. And then in addition to exclusive menus, you get early park admission, discounts, and other bennies. So Universal's really stepping up their game for the annual pass holders.
How much is that for?
What?
The VIP pass holder thing.
Oh,
Is
I-
it an additional
I think
cost?
it's additional, but I think it depends on the day you're looking usually to go to sometimes.
It's like an
Oh,
add-on
okay.
thing. So, and then
That would be cool.
continuing, yes, dear, cool, dear. Continuing with Universal.
You see how he does that?
Uh,
yes, dear.
all
Whatever, dear.
all I see is just money flying out of my wallet.
Oh,
that's less on
stop.
Christmas stuff.
Oh, don't even start on Christmas. Jen's already starting on Christmas with me. Universal announces their popular water theme park, Volcano Bay, and you're going to touch on this a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I won't go deep into that, but they're limiting their schedule and they're also adjusting some stuff. We'll let Dave Indy talk about that. So, speaking of Mr. Indy, welcome, sir, with the Universal News.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
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 So, yeah, to carry on to kind of what you were saying is Volcano Bay is closing on the 2nd of November for seasonal maintenance and is not scheduled to open up until probably March of 2021. Probably around spring break-ish is what it is on that one. Thing is also to keep in mind, Disney never reopened their water parks.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
I
not like
still don't
that
understand
big
why.
it's the perfect time for maintenance.
It is the perfect time for maintenance, and
Yeah.
Volcano Bay has been rolling hard.
Since it first opened.
Right.
They've never shut down for seasonal maintenance, only
Right.
on cold days. So this is their opportunity to go in there, make enhancements, make sure everything's right.
Get rid of
During that
tapu, you know, the little stuff.
Everybody likes a little tapu.
Everybody likes a little tapu, but it doesn't work for Volcano Bay.
Yeah, upgrade those bracelets, which Lake Mary here is where some of the technology was done.
Oh, yeah?
So-
Oh, okay.
that's
Well, that
interesting.
explains why it doesn't work.
Bill's
Okay,
gonna
so
be go knocking on the door, be like, "Hey, you need to fix this."
fix your yo.
Well, I was busy looking into investing just because of a money standpoint, knowing that in the beginning. But so yeah, so like you talked about, or we did prior. Basically, those that have the 3-park annual passes, they're given 2 additional months onto their passes. Those who have like 3-park tickets and stuff, the options are basically, especially with vacation packages, they could either modify it, get the difference back in the package, refund it however, or go to guest services, and guest services will refund them there. And then Still unclear from everything I've got. You get an additional 20% on it, but is it the 20% between that and the lower ticket? Is it 20% off the ticket? No one's been able to give me that answer yet.
Interesting.
But that's what they're doing there. Also on the annual passes, instead of 2 months free, they have the option of downgrading and getting the difference back. I've heard as well. So they can do that if they really just don't want to have the extra months added on to that. So it's really up to choice. But on the plus side, also going to Disney, they're rolling out passes right now. They got the purchase 2 days, get 3 days free back. That offers all the way through January 6th that you can purchase that. There's no blockout dates. So that's a good thing. The Florida resident buy a day visit until 12/24 was extended until November 3rd to take advantage of that offer.
Now, is this Disney or Universal?
Or sorry, I said Disney, but Universal.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I was like, yeah,
I'm like, I don't
all right.
remember hearing this for Disney.
So Universal's doing all that.
But that always brings up funny stories because you'd be surprised how many times you'd get people calling that says, I bought a park-to-park ticket and I'm at Magic Kingdom and they won't let me in with my Universal ticket.
Awkward.
I could see that happening though because,
But
people.
But to add to that confusion, if you had vacation packages at Universal, you could buy SeaWorld because of the whole original ownership back in the day.
Right.
But you had to get the ticket for SeaWorld first through your printout tickets at Universal, which is printed on a Universal ticket to take the SeaWorld. So I can see the weirdness.
And truth be told, Universal's talking about buying SeaWorld anyway, right?
Years ago, I know. I wouldn't be surprised now because, I mean, there's been rumors SeaWorld's on a bankruptcy list on that one. But Comcast CEOs probably about 3 to 4 years ago were seen touring SeaWorld. I mean, from the value of the property and the way they're moving away from the animals.
I'm sure that pleases Leanna. But
See a lot of growth opportunities if they did that from a property standpoint to linking everything. Once Epic is done, they had that large stretch right there. So be curious to see. But yeah for Universal. And then also right now for the 2 park passes, if you buy a brand new one, you can save up to probably $100. So if you want to buy a seasonal pass, you can save up to about $54 right now, working your way up to the Premier, up to about $102 on the seasonal or the Premier passes for an annual for Universal. So definitely something right there to
it's cool stuff.
look into.
Yeah.
Definitely on that one. And then speaking of some love, Universal actually has rolled out Love is Universal as a candy option now in the parks. So you can get the boxes with Love is Universal, some of them with the rainbow colors on the candy and stuff. Look kind of neat. Don't know how the taste and the flavors are, if it's going to be Skittle tasting or what. But a couple of different ones make great gifts for people, especially since I think this is coming out month as well.
Yeah, I think so.
For October, so perfect timing for them to do that. Speaking of the crowds, Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl, I just like the name Twirl and Hurl for a ride, is
Awkward.
is now open on weekends because of the crowd levels. And especially like this past weekend because, as we discussed, capacity was reached by shortly around 11 o'clock. Didn't even realize it was a holiday weekend yesterday just because of I don't get those. So
Yeah, neither do I.
yeah,
So,
what's a holiday weekend? So
2 meetings on Columbus Day. There was no day off.
So definitely with that in mind, as I'll say, the crowds are there, which is a good sign because, I mean, again, hopefully that stops the furloughs going on. So
Do you see them increasing the percentages of how many people get in?
I believe slowly they will start to do it leading into the holidays. I don't know. I doubt they'll be 50% by the end of the year. If that would be pushing it. I say maybe 40, 35 to 40. I would think for even Disney because it looked busy. I mean, unfortunately, you look at the photos and, you know, depending on the angle you take a photo, it's either it looks like it's total chaos or you switch the camera to a different angle and you realize it's really not that bad. I mean,
There's still 6-foot distancing, but if you look at it from a certain aspect, it looks like they're right next to each
Oh,
other.
yeah, and Diagon Alley and stuff like that. Yeah, it's smaller areas when you walk through the Wizarding Worlds. It was designed that way to fill the need of how the movies were set up. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more crowded. But even then, when you looked at some, if you really paid close attention, they weren't on top of each other. There was social distancing everywhere on that one. So, I mean, even some of the more unpopular stuff had extremely long lines, like Men in Black was almost all the way down to Fear Factor for the wait for that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, over at Disney, I saw the line for the Enchanted Tiki Room. I was surprised how long that line was. I was blown away as you in your orange
that
shirt.
and Pirates of the Caribbean and
Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
I think it's like tomato, either. Shush. Anyhow.
Poking with a stick.
Just
It
poking the
does.
bear.
And
Just poking the bear.
And I think the line for Splash Mountain were almost
Touching
one
I believe
another
it.
at one
Like
point.
you were just touching your
Yeah.
mic like that?
I don't prefer you right now.
Shocker. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry, man.
Squirrel.
Love, exciting and new.
Y'all should buy some Love is Universal candy from one another when you're
Right?
there.
Exactly.
And also,
That works.
when you're there, Express Passes right now are working for the houses. So if you end up with the Express Pass, you can use them for the haunted houses.
Wow.
I know this past weekend they were very expensive. They were almost $200 additional
Yeah,
per person.
and-
Oh, ouch.
And you would almost have to get into those haunted houses,
Yeah,
right?
because
It's virtual.
it's
time,
virtual
right?
waits and stuff like that. But I mean, at the parks at 25%, these are probably one of the few things that is happening where those who are diehard HHN fans want to see the houses, which I've heard they're pretty good from people that's gone through them. Never was my cup of tea. I like the atmosphere of HHN, but the houses bored me.
I've never been to any of it, so
I don't know
couldn't
why.
tell.
But definitely.
Because I'm not really one that enjoys being scared. I don't
I mean,
know.
but because I've been going since Fright Nights, it's just, other than theming, it's the same thing every year to me.
Right.
You know, you get through a house, it's got cool theming, and I always went through for the theming, you know, and I always got ridiculed because I wouldn't shut up and I was giving too much side commentary and stuff when I go through the houses because I went for the decor. I like the unmasking tours with the lights on because I like to see that aspect.
Right.
The house at night, no, you park my butt in a scare zone, and I just watch the people that paid, $100, $200 to get in and then act stupid because they're now being chased through a scare zone. Like, what do you think it was tonight? It's not so
Right.
scary at Disney. The clown with the chainsaw is going to chase you, and the further you run, or farther, depending on how Bill wants to correct it,
There you
then
go. There you go.
I'll say the more they're going to basically chase you like a pack of wolves, which is
Right.
even more entertaining.
Yeah.
So,
I know we had gone to Universal for Bill's birthday a few years ago, and we were having dinner at Margaritaville, and they had the guys on the stilts doing
Yep.
the balloons and stuff like that. And he was actually one of the stilt guys for Halloween Horror Nights, and he was telling us some of the stories, and oh my gosh, they were hysterical.
some of them are.
See,
I
I
was
have to be careful
rolling.
about that because if I get hammered at Halloween Horror Nights, I'm going to kick one of those legs out. You know what I mean? Like, I got to be careful about that. The fight or flight thing happens, and
this is why you're not allowed.
this
in.
is why I'm not allowed there.
Right. And one of the guys had said that there was a group of college guys that were there and having a good time and drinking and stuff. This was not about Bill, believe it or not. But they singled out one of the guys and they got him out of the pack. And they kind of like cornered him, thinking that there wasn't anywhere for him to go. Well, this guy was so scared and nervous and needed to get out of there. He climbed a light pole and scrambled across the top of one of the fences and jumped down and ran away. And I mean, and you know those guys, they have to stay in character and everything. He said it took everything for them not to bust out laughing because that was like one of the funniest things they had ever seen. They had never
My
seen
God.
anybody.
Can you imagine the stories, bro?
I mean,
Well,
Stories.
I'm on the opposite end of that just because of the people that used to get drunk and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be there when they would taser somebody who would just be that out of line because I'd hear stories of people having to be tasered. And to me,
Really?
that's the more
Wow.
exciting and funny side of things.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got that
Wow.
far.
Yeah.
who was the story? Was it you telling the story of like one of the guys with the axe? And there
Yeah.
was a girl that was standing there.
Yeah, he was grinding the axe on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen at Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh yeah, some of those people are good at what they do.
Absolutely. What else you got?
Sure. So for the hotels, thanks for someone giving me this bits of information recently. Found out the hotels currently do not do room service while you're staying there.
Interesting.
So if you're staying there, they can, by request, do light housekeeping, but the requirements are the guest must be out of the room at least 15 minutes before and cannot re-enter 15 minutes after housekeeping has already left. And then usually they don't change the bed, from what I understand. They make the bed, they take out the trash, restock your towels, which if you just need a towel, you could always request them as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much like
That's
a hotel
all
thing
they're doing
across
right now is
yeah.
just light. And then after you check out, that's when they'll change the beds, do the COVID cleaning and stuff of that nature.
Unless otherwise requested.
Exactly, which is, like I said, only light on that. And then a positive for the Central Florida area, I don't know if you heard, but Universal has donated 20 acres off of International Drive area for affordable housing community. It's going to feature 1,000 high-quality apartments. Universal is going to kind of help oversee it, but they are looking for builders and stuff. You can there's not much right now on it, but you can kind of keep track of it at housingfortomorrow.com is the website where they're looking for project managers, people to build this. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what they're planning to build for affordable housing. I know it's a big positive with everything going on and the cost of living and so forth and what theme parks technically pay their employees. So be excited to see how that is. But that's kind of all I have on my end.
Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Indy. Greatly appreciate that.
Always.
And of course, now we bring in the lovely Miss Tanya.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
What do you
As
got
they
for
might
Disney?
That's still the best thing.
Best thing ever.
Stay clear of them because if you lean against them, they might open.
Yes.
Awkward.
And we won't say where. Anyhow, so a few updates that has come out over the past couple of weeks. Chef Mickey's. Since Chef Mickey's has reopened, it is currently being operated for just breakfast with no characters. Currently known as Chef Mickey's Family Feast, it has been serving your typical breakfast items of pastries, fruit, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, and of course Mickey waffles at a reduced cost of $25 per adult and $14 per child, ages 3 through 9. And that is going an upgrade. December 16th, Chef Mickey's is debuting new menu items and will be bringing back Mickey Mouse and Friends.
Yay!
Yay!
We totally just did that at the same time.
Dorks. But keep in mind that the characters will be doing a physically distant smile and wave character cavalcade, like they've been doing at Topolino's and
Smile and wave.
Yeah.
Smile and wave.
The all-you-can-eat family-style breakfast will include a selection of breakfast pastries, eggs, bacon, Mickey waffles, and some new selections from what is being called Chef Mickey's signature entrees. Some of the upgraded entrees will include Mickey's Celebration Pancake. It's a pancake in the shape of Mickey ears, topped with Mickey sprinkles, shimmering pixie dust, cherries, and whipped cream.
All for yours at $49.99.
It looked good, though. I saw a photo of it.
Yeah, that did look really good.
Shut up and get in my mouth.
There is also Goofy's Banana Bread French Toast. Now, this sounded really good till we got to a section of it, but banana bread baked in an orange French toast batter with an espresso mascarpone cheese, toasted bananas, and chocolate crumbles.
Okay, we can leave off the cheese.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a mocha coffee kind of person, so the espresso mascarpone.
I'm sure it tastes better than
kinda-
it sounds.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I
it
guess.
actually sounds amazing.
It does sound
I
amazing.
mean,
I'll stick to the Mickey
I think
waffle.
it's going to be a popular hit. And then there's also a new loaded potato cheese casserole topped with bacon crumbles, chives, and a Mickey-shaped cheese crisp. So reservations for this character breakfast opens up on October 17th, with Disney Resort guests can make reservations up to 60 days in advance. And of course, with the upgrade comes a price increase to $42 per adult.
I was
You were
not.
close.
I was not far off.
That's with tax.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not just for the entree. This is an all-you-can-eat kind of thing. So
I get it. I get it.
$42 for adult, $27 per child, 3 to 9 plus tax and gratuity. So And of course, you have your characters back, you have the upgraded entrees, and you could theoretically order like one of each of the entrees and eat them all yourself if you wanted to, since it's all you can eat.
You could probably get away with that.
I'm actually trying to be real good nowadays on my intake.
I don't think I could. My diabetes would kill me.
Yeah. In other restaurant news, obviously we talked about earlier, Chef de France reopened on the 8th.
Phenomenal.
And we had the opportunity to dine there, and it was so good. So another restaurant that we checked off of our bucket list.
And I'm just glad to know I wasn't the only one that did not eat the escargot. Otherwise, I call them mud boogers.
I wanted to order the escargot, but
no,
I'm a sucker
Hey,
for a really good French onion soup.
You could have ordered it, but
if you saw my face,
I know,
when
but
she
I
ordered,
love French
Michelle
onion
had it.
soup.
no, I'm not eating snails.
It tastes
Yeah,
like
no.
garlic and butter.
It looked like snot.
Yeah, no.
God.
It was nasty looking.
That falls
They're
under the
really
same
not that bad.
category as like calamari. You know, AKA bait.
It's not bait.
Yep.
Calamari is delicious.
When you can catch a fish on the same stuff you're eating, it's bait.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You eat shrimp. Shrimp is bait?
Yes. No,
I don't eat bait.
that's a reach.
I don't eat shrimp.
And it's not a reach.
Go ahead. What else you got?
Yeah.
I'll defend it. I don't eat it.
Podcast is like 3 hours long now. Go ahead.
Debating food.
Also have seen some other openings via Napoli's counter service window, as well as Magic Kingdom's Adventureland. Much loved Spring Roll Cart was open last weekend, as was Friar's Nook. Also at Epcot, Cool Wash and the Bakery in Norway, Summerfest in Germany, and the Yorkshire County Fish Shop in the UK Pavilion were all opening. And it's basically being said as business dictates, which for now translates more into their being open on the weekend and holidays.
Can we make more money?
Well, it would make more sense for them to be open instead of, having products sit around and go bad because there's lack of people. But, Winter Summerland and Miniature Golf is reopening for a limited time starting November 6th and running until January 30th. Can I finally go play miniature golf at Disney, please?
Yes, dude.
That one was actually fun.
I haven't been, so I really want to go.
She's been on me for years to go to that.
I know, and every
That one's
time we
cute.
buy it, and it's like, oh. So November 6th, it's reopening until January 30th, while temporarily closing Fantasia Gardens and Fairways Miniature Golf Course.
That's
which
my favorite.
I haven't played that one either, but that one
Either.
is set to reopen on January 31st. So,
Yeah. I'll say.
and last but
Just
not
don't
least,
drink before you play some of those.
why?
I don't know. I could drive the golf ball around 300 yards. So
That was probably one of the longest games that me and Jen played with one of our friends because they were pretty drunk
Hammered?
on fairways.
Oh,
So I think every hole was 6 to 10 strokes.
ouch.
you're at 15 strokes. Just pick up already.
Oh, it was entertaining for us.
I'm
But
sure.
I will say,
So we will do a report later on because I will make sure that we get to play miniature golf and we will give a report back.
AKA, she'll hound me until I give in.
Pretty much.
then you can go play Universals.
Yeah. Well, we've played the
We
Universals.
play
multiple
universals
I
all the
haven't.
time.
Yeah,
So.
those are a lot of fun.
Kind of
actually.
sad. I worked there and I never played it.
Oh, really? We've played it a lot of times. And last but not least, Disney's Aulani Resort is starting a phased reopening starting on November 1st. Yay! Another one on my bucket list. I was reading through the
Cha-ching.
guidelines.
Yep.
I was reading through some of their guidelines, and they're pretty much in line with what's being implemented on other properties. Face coverings, physically distancing, limited capacity measures, hand sanitizing stations, online check-in, QSR codes for menus, the housekeeping being limited and stuff like that. The biggest and most notable change is Aulani is reopening as a non-smoking resort. Smoke-free resort, meaning smoking locations will be removed and not permitted on property at all.
I'm curious if they had smoking rooms, because if they had smoking rooms, good luck trying to make them non-smoking rooms.
probably not that, but maybe outdoor
I don't
areas.
think
Yeah,
they did. They did
designated.
have outdoor, like, designated areas, but as of November 1st, no smoking on property at all.
Because it'd be more visually viewable to see a whole bunch of people outside the resort standing on the sidewalk in front of it, all lighting up.
Right?
Well, yeah.
That's a great point. But the interesting thing about Alani is that I had originally thought that they physically built Alani, but from my understanding, they took over an already existing resort and then modified
Remodeled it, yeah.
When you said that, it made me wonder for Vero and also Myrtle Beach, I believe it is. They
Hilton Head.
or
Hilton
Hilton Head,
Head,
yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if they did the same. I think Vero's they took over one too.
I don't know. I'll have to do some research.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not because we haven't been there, but Alani has been taking a lot of hits for being not hardcore Disney. You know what I mean? Like,
It's all subtle from what I heard as
yeah,
well.
a lot like Vero, a lot like Hilton Head, to where it's got touches of Disney, but it really doesn't feel like Disney. So it'll be interesting to see once we go out there, because she'll badger me until we go.
Take her to
It's
Vero.
Hawaii, really? I'm going to have to badger you that hard.
No, you're really not going to have to twist my
So
arm.
don't
but,
even.
but you get the point when it's $700 a room night, you know.
Airfare.
So, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
all
but we stay
exclusive.
at Alani for a few nights, and then we go to another
Budget
part
in.
of the island and
Well, I think
or island hop.
between seeing what Alani's all about and going to Pearl Harbor, I think I can justify the trip. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I gotta give shout outs to my fellow servicemen. But thank you, Tanya. We appreciate it. And of course, that leads us into that time of the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Ask Indy. It's a new segment that we've introduced a couple weeks ago, but it has taken off. Mr. Indy has become extremely popular.
You mean I wasn't before?
Well, you're more popular now.
Okay.
Indy will be answering your questions, answering your questions.
Welcome
and
to Jeopardy.
Welcome to Jeopardy. I'll take what is the question for 200?
Absolutely.
And this week you got a doozy, don't you?
I do, actually. For this week, it kind of goes to Disney, but it could be all theme parks in general of why are they on a first name basis? And it kind of leads back to Walt. A lot of people say because Walt actually hated being called Mr. Disney, which I could see on that one, but
Now you're talking about
Yeah.
Disney, and you're talking
Correct.
about why their name
Their
tags
name
only have
tags,
their
yes.
first name.
where everyone, the name tags are all first name for
Do they
everybody.
do that for Universal? I don't.
Yep, mine was
Yes.
first name
Yeah,
as well.
okay. All right.
So, but
Been a while.
basically, because he was the originator in a sense of making the modern theme parks. But yeah, it's because he just really was not fond of being called Mr. Disney, which does carry some merit. But a lot of the biographers actually also suggested two other main kind of reason is Walt wanted everyone who worked for him to feel equally valued, which makes sense, as well as additionally everyone who to feel that their ideas that they had or the contributions that they were making were also equally valued at the company, hence the first name basis.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the reason why they have first name bases on in the theme parks is equality.
Equality. Yep.
So he was really a pioneer when it came to that.
And it was kind of neat because one of the things that I found when researching is there was a clinic for hearing impaired, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was someone that he was close friends with. The kid's son was deaf, and basically Walt kind of helped start a clinic based on it, gave the kid's son a job as a animator, but he did charity work a lot of times behind the scenes, but his name was always tied to this stuff, and people would obviously go to these things. And Walt actually wasn't there to do things, but he would actually be washing dishes, picking up dishes, refilling people's cups of water, their drinks and stuff. He was actually more of a servant during that time, just to show that, hey, even though I'm Walt Disney or Walt, basically, I can also be a server too, or a servant of the people.
He could always have been called his first initial of his last name, like
Yeah.
the D, because everybody wants the D, right?
Well, speak for yourself.
Just saying. No. I'm talking about Disney. Where's your mind at, woman? So,
wow, really?
Didn't they have a shirt that had that at the one time?
course,
Yes,
yeah.
There is one out
Yeah.
there with that, yes.
So, but what's interesting is Disney was a pioneer in this kind of stuff, and Disney has been all about equality and
Yeah.
all about, and even before there was regulations on how many people that you need to hire, like EEO kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Disney recognized the importance of that and would hire people that would normally not have a chance to be hired by Disney.
Agreed.
So I think he was a cutting edge pioneer as far as the business world for hiring not only minorities, but hiring handicapped individuals as well.
Women. He looked at the talent of the individual and not who it was in a sense.
Right, which is phenomenal. So
Yeah. That's
there it
awesome.
is, ladies and gentlemen. Ask Indy. Thank you very much, sir.
Of course.
Very
Always,
interesting.
always great, interesting questions about Ask
Yeah.
Indy.
Yeah, keep them coming,
Our
people.
readers come up with some
Yeah.
really good ones.
So if you guys have a great question for Mr. Indy, feel free to email us at UDN or contact us on our Facebook page. You can always hit us up there and just hashtag Ask Indy, and he will research the question and answer it on the podcast.
Definitely.
So there you go. All right, so we got to move into random topic, and I wanted to preface the random topic with some interesting stuff. We have got very special guests that are joining us for our random topic, and we wanted to touch on something that is not something we usually go to.
It's a difficult subject.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a difficult subject, and we're talking about human trafficking, and of course, human trafficking is in the forefront with all this Epstein stuff and everything else. But what a lot of people don't realize is it's very homegrown. It's very localized. And there's a couple of great people up in Georgia who have started a nonprofit organization called Rescue the Children, which is a part of the Georgia Coalition to Combat Human Trafficking. They are absolutely phenomenal. And I was able to get an interview with them and talk a little bit about it. And we didn't have much time to talk, but we were able to touch on some really, really cool stuff that they're doing. And we at UDN are going to support them tremendously. And we'll talk a little bit more after the interview, but I wanted to play this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your random topic.
Random topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week's random topic, we've got a very interesting topic for you guys. Typically, we keep things light here on the podcast, certainly talking about everything Universal and Disney. But we have something today that is very interesting, and we've got a couple of very special guests. And we want to talk about something that's serious. We talk about human trafficking. Human trafficking has been a huge problem in the United States, obviously. Here in Central Florida, there's no stranger to it. Obviously, with the amount of young people that visit the parks every day, definitely these parks are a haven for people who are trying to do not so nice things to children. Florida ranks third in the nation for human trafficking, and Orlando, believe it or not, is one of the 10 top cities for human trafficking. It's been a problem. Disney has certainly experienced it. Universal has certainly experienced it. Case in point, in November 2019, just a little bit less than a year ago, we have had 100 people arrested for human trafficking stings, which also included Universal and Disney employees. We at Universal Disney Nuts are not afraid to talk about hard topics, and human trafficking is something we're passionate about. We want to put an end to it, and of course, we want to support anybody who is willing to do that. Keep in mind that human trafficking is a world problem. It's not just a United States problem. It's not just a Florida problem. But even our local states have issues as well. So it's not just about here in Central Florida. We have neighboring states like Georgia that have the same issues that we do down here in Central Florida. With that being said, I wanted to bring on some very special guests. Ms. Carrie Meyer and Kennedy Mabe from the Rescue the Children, which is a part of the Georgia Coalition to Combat Human Trafficking. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you. Now, you ladies have a very interesting thing going on. You guys have started a special group in Georgia. Could you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
We are a nonprofit for sex trafficking and raising awareness. So we will focus solely on human trafficking victims. We will have a group of ex-military, ex-firefighters, just a little bit people who have experience doing these things, and they will be certified through the sheriff's office for search and rescue, and they will be assisting the GBI in actual stakeouts and busts to save children that are currently in sex trafficking situations. We also want to hold seminars in school and workplaces. That way we can raise awareness so people know exactly what is going on and know what to look for, because a lot of times it's happening at home and people do not know them specifically. So we're hoping to raise awareness in that aspect of life so parents and children know what to look for and where to turn to if it's happening.
That's awesome. That is very cool. Let me ask you a question. How did you guys get into this?
Okay, so really we started a Facebook group to help raise awareness, and we had so much outreach, like immediately thousands and thousands of people joined the group wanting to do something about it and actually make a difference and making it more than a hashtag. So a group of us decided to see what it took to become a legal nonprofit, and that's pretty much what we did. You know, we raised the funds to do so. Luckily, we had a lot of resources on our side. You know, CPAs reached out, people that worked in HR, marketing, people donated to get our legal license and become a legal operation to do so.
That's really, really great. So how many people are in your organization that are involved indirectly or directly?
As of right now, we have 8 people that we have 4 board members, and we have another 4 that are volunteers that have helped us so much. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do it without each and every person, as well as the outreach that we had, the thousands of people that encouraged us, helped us, sponsored us. So as of right now, as far as on our side working with us, we have 8 people.
That's really, really cool. You guys are doing such an awesome job with it. But you guys do a little bit more than try to rescue the children. You guys actually help mentor after they're rescued, right? I thought that was very cool.
Yes, we do. One of the main things we want to do is open up a store, kind of like Goodwill, where things are donated and everything bought, we give back to our organization. And we want to employ sex trafficking victims in our workplace. That way they get a head start. They know how to live outside of sex trafficking. Once somebody gets out of sex trafficking, 50% of the time they go right back in because that's all they've ever known. So we want to implement counseling, places to live, jobs for them. That way they know that they can live outside of what they're used to.
Do you guys operate just in Georgia right now, but do you guys see yourself expanding out of Georgia, maybe into other states like Florida?
Our goal is to eventually be a nationwide nonprofit.
Awesome. You guys started a hashtag, right?
We did.
And what is that hashtag?
Hashtag rescue the children.
And if somebody wanted to get in touch with you guys to give you guys support, how could they do that?
We have multiple ways of getting in touch with us. Our email, obviously, which is rescue.business.np@gmail.com. And then our Facebook page is a great way to reach out to us. We have a great response time, and that is Rescue the Children of Georgia. We also have a Twitter and our Instagram, but our Instagram is rescuethechildren_Georgia.
Now, you guys have made a significant impact in the state of Georgia and really have brought a lot of awareness to this. And it just seems like human trafficking itself, the big elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. And you see all these big stories about Epstein and all that stuff, but it really is more of a local thing, isn't it?
Yes, actually, it's not what most people think it is. It's not, most of the time, it's not even like kidnapping. It's not, people getting snatched off the street. It's, a second grader at home. It's people that family, close friends, relatives. I mean, it's happening everywhere, and people aren't seeing the signs and people aren't noticing what's going on because most people hear sex trafficking and they think, kidnapping off the street or out of the mall. And in reality, most of the time, that's not even close to the case.
It's certainly a more homegrown situation.
Very much so.
There's obviously the big high profile stuff, but even if you think that it's just 1 or 2 families, it seems like it's really more than that. It could be a whole community, and you see things like what happened down here in 2019, where 100 people were arrested just for trafficking, and some of these people were actual employees of the parks, which makes it even more disturbing, because they have unlimited access to the children. You know what I mean? And that's even more super scary for us down here. And it's not surprising that Orlando is in the top 10 for American cities for human trafficking. But you guys are doing a phenomenal job up there. You guys are doing a really, really great thing. We certainly appreciate everything that you guys do. And if somebody wanted to donate to your cause, if somebody wanted to show support to you guys, what's the best way they can do that?
They can donate directly from our website. They go to rescuethechildrenofgeorgia.org. There is a donate button, and they can donate directly to there.
Outstanding. And we at Universal Disney Nuts are certainly going to help and assist you guys in any way we can, because we believe in your mission. We believe in what you guys are doing up there. We are also going to have a link on our UDN website for a one-time donation that goes directly to you guys. Also, Jen has set up that all purchases from the UDN store, 10% of that will go directly to your group. So we're certainly hoping that you guys are going to continue to grow, continue to do good things, and continue to get support. I know that we certainly here appreciate everything you guys do, and we hope that you guys blow up into something amazing and continue all the great work that you guys do.
We really appreciate that. We put a lot of hard work into this, and really it's just about saving these victims. It's something we're very passionate about, and we're super thankful for everything you guys have done for us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One last question. If you guys had to choose one character in the theme parks, what would it be?
Honestly, my favorite would be Tinkerbell. I like the spunky attitude.
I'm always a big fan of Tinkerbell. I like her. What about you, Kennedy? I think we lost. Yeah.
I actually know the answer to this one for her, Peter Pan.
She's a big Peter Pan fan, huh?
Yes.
Okay, I see her smiling. So we're having some technical difficulties, but I will tell you that those are two of the most iconic characters in the parks. So we certainly appreciate that. And I think that's going to wrap it up. We certainly appreciate everything you guys do. Keep doing what you're doing. We love what you guys are doing. We will continue to support you guys. We'll bring you back on another podcast, and we'll continue to pump things up. In the meantime, one more time, give them all your contact information so they can contact you to provide support.
Our contact information, obviously our Rescue Facebook page, Rescue the Children of Georgia. Our Instagram is rescuethechildren_Georgia. Our website is rescuethechildrenofgeorgia.org. And then our email is rescue.business.np@gmail.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Carrie Mayer and Kennedy Mabe of the Rescue for Children, part of the Georgia Coalition to Fight Human Trafficking. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so there's your random topic.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Definitely a very important subject to be covered.
Yeah, these girls are killing it. They're very young. They've got their whole lives ahead of them, and for them to be involved and create this nonprofit organization
At such an early age.
And for the right reasons and the right causes is absolutely phenomenal. And we can't say enough about these young girls, and just to do what they're doing is absolutely phenomenal. And we're honored to be associated with them.
Yes.
And as I said in the interview, we'll have a link onto our website for the one-time donation that goes directly to them. And also 10% of all of our UDN stores, will go directly to them as well. So thank you very much for joining us, ladies. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you on board. Moving on to our sponsors so we can finish up the podcast. Have you seen the new Eddie Van Halen?
I have. That is awesome.
Wasn't that cool?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about Rock Stars and Flowers. Yes, Rock Stars and Flowers is a group of artists that are in North Carolina, and they are absolutely killing it. Obviously, with the news of Eddie Van Halen passing away, a lot of people were upset about it. Hashtag 2020 sucks, right? So all of our major rock stars from the 80s are starting to get to that point where they're going to be leaving us. And one of the ways that you can honor the memory of these people is to get with Rockstars and Flowers, and they will make a mural of your favorite rock star. And they are absolutely phenomenal. They just did an Eddie Van Halen, and they have like his guitar design in the background, and they have Eddie in the front playing the guitar. And it is unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
It is pretty cool.
They recently got the Jimi Hendrix Foundation, recently ordered 6 murals from them. And the actual foundation was so amazed by what they did that they said that they're going to order more from them. So
That's awesome.
cool.
All these collectors are starting to go to them for different paintings of different people.
Great job,
And,
guys.
yeah, they are absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. So go check out Rockstars and Flowers if you're interested in getting a mural painted. These guys are the best. And check them out on their Facebook group, Rockstars and Flowers. Very, very cool stuff.
Clint and Sebastian.
Yeah, really, really cool people. Really, really talented artists. So go check them out. Now, it is that time of the year where we start to get into the holidays. As you can tell, I'm over the top excited about that. And
That's the biggest crock I've ever heard. Holy moly.
so, obviously,
Mr. Festive.
Yeah, not.
the 3-headed monster that is the holiday season that we have to survive through is the first-headed monster is Halloween, which is coming up here relatively quickly.
Yeah.
We've got the house decorated for Halloween already. We've got some cool stuff out there.
You've had it decorated.
Yeah, so you should see the front at night. It actually looks pretty cool. So UDN is getting into the spirit.
We are.
We have a pumpkin carving contest.
Yes, it's the first annual UDN pumpkin contest.
You see how giddy she is right now?
Yep.
Well,
It's
I'm
like-
going to participate, so I'm excited to carve a pumpkin.
I'm surprised we don't have like 7 pumpkins right now.
Whatever.
Seriously.
You haven't seen them in the garage yet.
Probably not.
Shh.
So tell us about this contest. This is cool.
All right, so basically you just have to carve a pumpkin. And if you go onto the Facebook page or onto our website, there's a link that you can say that you're going. And when you say that you're going, it'll pop up where you can put your name, email address, and you can upload a picture of the pumpkin. And what's going to happen is all of those pictures are going to be shown on our Facebook page, and you as our members are going to vote.
Okay, so it's going to be an event,
Yes.
and it's like, are you interested, maybe, or not going, that kind of
Interested,
thing.
yes.
And when you click on the going,
Yes.
then it'll prompt up, and then you'll be able to put your name, your address, and then submit your picture of the pumpkin.
Correct.
Okay, now does the pumpkin have to be Disney or Universal themed, or can it be anything?
It can be anything that you want it to be. It does not have to be Universal or Disney themed. Uh-oh. I should have probably said it should be Universal or
Interesting.
Disney themed. Sorry, folks, ahead of time.
Interesting.
So all contest entries must be received by midnight Eastern Standard Time on October 25th. Our members will vote from October 26th through October 30th, and the winners will be announced on Halloween evening. Basically, we're going to be voting for People's Choice, Honorable Mention, and then there's going to be third, second, and first place. And there will be prizes for everybody and all kinds of stuff.
Do we know what the extent of the prizes are?
We do. There's going to be like a UDN grab bag. There's sponsor bags.
So if you missed out on our latest UDN grab bag contest, our next one's at $1,300. But if you guys didn't get one, this might be your chance. If you come in first at this pumpkin thing, you will have a chance to get a swag bag, which is very cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
These swag bags are extremely popular, and a lot of people are trying to get their hands on them. Lots of cool UDN stuff in there, stuff from our sponsors. Really, really, I mean, just swag everywhere.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like this rivals like the bags that they get at the Oscars. I'm just saying. I mean, it's UDN version, but you get the point. So join us for our Halloween carving pumpkin contest.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Go out there, see how creative you can get. Show us your pumpkin carving skills. I need to design a UDN live pumpkin logo.
That's going to be hard that's going to be very hard to carve.
I don't think so.
We'll see. Maybe we can do a UDN live pumpkin.
That's
That'd
where
be
the
cool.
7 pumpkins come in.
Right? Oh, God. I don't even think about it, though. So if we can survive Halloween, then we can make it through Thanksgiving, and then finally the big monster, if we can get through that, being that it's probably going to be canceled because of COVID anyway.
Oh, well, you just stop already with the holidays.
And then, we can get through New Year's. So Christmas is like the third head, and then New Year's is like the tail, right?
I'll go with that.
Three-headed dragon.
You two. Grinches.
I will tell you, though.
Grinches.
I will tell you that
Scrunches.
I think there's a lot of people looking forward to 2021.
Yes,
Let
2020
us get
has
out
been-
of 2020. My God. It's crazy. I don't think it gets any worse. But
we need to finish up strong and have a wonderful last few months with the
Absolutely.
holidays. And
absolutely.
looking forward to it.
Also, check out our marketplace. If you guys are looking for some really, really awesome stuff, Disney, Universal, whatever, go check out our marketplace. We got special deals.
Mm-hmm.
We get discounts. I mean, this thing rivals Amazon at this point. I mean, it's just insane. So there is so much stuff. We can't even talk about it. How much stuff is on this marketplace? Go and get honestly, everything that you could possibly imagine is on there. The ears, the clothing lines. So with that being said, go check out the marketplace. It's certainly worth your time and energy. You could save some money on some really great stuff. Leggings, sneakers, everything Disney and Universal. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yes.
We can have a podcast strictly just for that. I mean, it's insane. So go check out the marketplace. Also go check out the UDN store. Remember, 10% goes to supporting the Rescue the Children group.
Yes.
And that's going to be for the next year or so, I'm assuming.
I think until the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Yes.
The parks are busy, folks. We're only running at 25% capacity, which means everybody is trying to come down here and everybody's trying to get into these parks. We are going to remain busy. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're heading into the holidays, so.
Absolutely. It's going to get nuts. So remember, you still need a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you still need a mask.
Yep.
Yeah, especially now they're enforcing it.
Yes, Disney put up signs
Yeah, I
around
saw
their
that.
park saying
SeaWorld
that.
saw
does
that.
it too.
Oh, did they? Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Universal puts them out as well to
Yeah.
have those kind of signs.
And everybody within the sound of my voice, I want you to understand something. And please,
I don't know where this is going.
Don't be that guy or girl. Any kind of weapon or guns are not allowed at Disney. They are private property. They can do whatever they want. Weapons are not authorized to be at Disney. Regardless of you're at a resort and you're checking them in and you're doing all this other stuff. No. Weapons and guns are not allowed on Disney. Do not bring them to Disney.
Leave them home.
Please. They have no place at Walt Disney World. So with
Or
that,
Universal or SeaWorld for that matter. I mean,
yes,
it's
please don't be stupid. I understand your gun rights, but at the same respect, it's private property and weapons are not allowed. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, if you're in these parks, have fun, be safe, have a good time. I think people are forgetting that. Have a good time.
Yes.
I love going to the parks.
2020 has been an absolute train wreck. Let's just go to the parks and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's it from Central Florida. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
You have been listening to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. Please visit our website at worldofudn.com and join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all the latest updates, news, and events from your favorite theme parks. See you in 2 weeks.